We be live. Hi
Hello.
everyone. Hello. I can't every time I will never get tired of how you start the show when you say hello. Even when I do the live streams without you, I always imagine you saying that, even when you're not
There's a
here.
little mini Susie in your head. Hello.
Yes, yes. So we were before we went live. Susie was mentioning that today's stream is a juicy one. It's a juice. By the way,
It's a
guys, make sure you
juicy,
like
it's
the stream right
a
now.
one. We've
Yeah.
we've been we've
Yes.
been doing some particularly juicy shows lately. I think today is
Yes.
another one of those days.
Why? Why? What are we talking about? Can you give us the titles?
Oh my goodness. So first of all, I mean, as the title of our stream, it's Germany's move to implement some rules for citizenship in regards to
Oh,
whoa.
sorry about
Uh
that. Go on.
like statements, pro-Palestinian social media activism stuff. Then we're also going to be talking about this, well, actually a collection of Islamist terrorist attacks that happened in Europe over the past few weeks. Because there were several, and I was like, let's just talk about them all at the same time. Then we're going to talk about this issue of this infamous Pakistani cleric who used to always
Mhm.
be promoting killing people for blasphemy in Pakistan, and now he's on the run for blasphemy.
Again? This is
Yeah, which this
we
is
had a
not the
similar.
first time that this has happened.
Oh my god!
And then Sweden has recently uncovered how Iran was behind this giant hacking attack in regards to the Quran burnings that were happening in Sweden. And then the last
Huh.
one we're going to cover is my favorite. And it's my favorite because we were literally talking about this last week, which is there was this Iranian cleric that was claiming that Jews use genies and like magical demons to conduct their secret
Mhm.
missions and special operations. And we were literally talking about like all the esoteric beliefs about Jewish magic and stuff in Iran last week. And then I'm like, oh my God, here it is. Someone actually is openly talking about it. And it's really funny. So
Yeah. Two of today's 5 stories is confirming that I am correct. I have been correct about things. Two of the five.
oh,
The
that's
first one
of
and the
course
last one.
that's your immediate way that you want to frame this.
Yes, 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 yes.
Naturally,
Exactly.
proving how
By the way,
right I am.
the cat lady in the live chat is saying I've liked the stream. So thank you so much, cat lady. Can the rest of the people who are here please also confirm that you have liked, and make sure you mention in the live chat that you have liked, so that other people get encouraged to like the stream as well. Your likes
Mm-hmm.
help us grow this channel. It helps us grow this channel. By the way, I have an extra juicy video uploaded to show today when we cover the
I
gem
saw that.
story. Oh, you saw that? Okay.
No,
When
but
we
like,
covered the
what
gem
is it? I
story.
don't know. I have something I'm gonna discover.
Okay. Oh, you haven't seen that. I think you're gonna love
No.
it. Okay. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much in the chat. People like everybody saying like. Oh, Zaid is here as well. Heavy Gretel, you always leave some of the best comments after the show is over. So thank you so much. Yeah, guys, after the show is over, please leave a comment so that the channel grows. Okay, thank you. All right. So, oh, Roy is here. Hi, Roy. Oh, and Gene is here too. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So, can we um clap for the first news? Wait, we have two new members.
Yes. Oh my
Damashar.
goodness.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you for being.
Amanchar became a YouTube member, and so did Jennifer Gain. I don't know how to pronounce this. Hello, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Welcome to Satan's Minions, which is a fantastic reminder that this show is made possible by everyone that contributes to Atheist Republic. Supporting the channel is an amazing way to make sure that we can keep going because this team is way bigger than just me and Armin. You can join by hitting the membership button down below. We also have links in the description to support us on Patreon or PayPal. Yeah, you keep us going and also fund all of our other programs. Like, I don't know if people know that we have one of the most influential atheist channels in Persian. It gets millions of impressions and views every year. Several million. Several million views and impressions on our Persian content last year alone, because we're taking it to the land of the Islamists themselves, okay? The Islamic Republic, they want to go do all their bullshit all around the world. Okay, well, we're going into their territory, okay?
And by the way, now that we got new members, it reminds me that I have to do some more member-only streams. I haven't done some member-only streams because there's a war coming, and I need to be covering that. So, but I will get back to doing member-only streams, right? But yeah, so I promise. Okay, can we clap for the first news?
Wait, I think, because I was just, no. Let me see if I can say this. Can Susanna speak Persian? Wait. It's been a minute. Yekami baladam hastam?
Yekam.
No. Yekam.
Yekam baladam.
Yekam baladam.
Or yekam balad hastam. Yekam
Thank
balad
you.
hastam. Or,
yeah.
Yes.
I'm a little rusty.
Okay.
After I become proficient in my boyfriend's native language, then I'm going to move on to Persian.
Yes.
But I will take this opportunity to show off my shirt. Guys, don't forget.
Oh, yeah. The Ayatollah Khomeini sucks. Fantastic. Okay.
I thought I had to take this occasion because I've been thinking after Iran's attack on Israel that, I hate this regime like a lot. Like I literally just want them to be hunted down like Nazi hunters did, after the fall of World War II. I literally want all those decision makers to straight up never know rest and be chased to the ends of the earth. And even then, sometimes I'm like, I still don't hate these. I don't hate these motherfuckers enough. Yeah. And I feel like our leaders don't either. So let's
People are loving your shirt.
Thank you.
Clappable.
This is from 1979. This is vintage.
Oh, Han is in the live chat. Han, we basically humiliated your ideology in the stream that I did with Dahlia. Go watch that. And this was a major burn for you because all the things that you said it was not possible, we showed you in the stream that with Dahlia, with people that think like you, that you are idiots. So I was really happy with that stream. And guys, make sure you go watch that stream because it was one of our best streams so far. Oh wow, it already got 100K views. So
Dahlia
3 days ago we did a stream.
She's such a sweetheart. Yeah. She's really nice when you meet her in person too. Like genuinely, such a good person.
She's great. Yes. Anyways, we should get to the news with our stories, right?
Yes, so, we know what we're here for.
Yes. Oh my God, this is the best. Again, confirming that I was right. All right. First news.
Germany to deny citizenship to pro-Palestinian social media users. Now, let's clarify what that means. In a controversial move, Germany has announced a significant changes to its citizenship laws, including denying citizenship to individuals who express certain pro-Palestinian statements on social media. This decision is part of broader reforms at making citizenship more accessible to foreign residents, reducing the required residency period from 8 to 5 years. However, the new policy has also tightened restrictions based on Germany's historical responsibility to the Holocaust. The changes specifically target users who like, comment, or post the slogan "From the river to the sea," which is seen as challenging Israel's right to exist. This policy stems from a clause of Germany's citizenship laws, which concerns, quote, Germany's special historical responsibility for the nationalist, socialist injustice and its consequences, especially for the protection of Jewish life. The Federal Ministry of the Interior emphasized that context matters, particularly when pro-Palestinian slogans coincide with calls for violence against Israel. To reinforce this stance, Germany has also introduced Holocaust-related questions in citizenship tests. Germany's Interior Minister, Nancy Faeser, emphasized the country's position, stating, quote, if you don't share our values, you can't get a German passport. We have a crystal clear red line here. This decision has sparked intense debate around social media and free expression and the balance between honoring historical responsibilities and the current political tensions and the role of social media in citizenship eligibility. So let's unpack this a little bit. So we've talked about these new rules that Germany is doing for their citizenship requirements. And this is part of a broader reform. And some things about this reform are making it easier for people to get citizenship, to get a passport. But at the same time as they're making like the residency period less and other things, make it making it so you don't have to, I think making it easier if you're a dual national. They're making some things easier. At the same time, they're making their criteria of who they accept a lot more strict. So, and this requires a lot more stringent testing based on values, ideals, and beliefs. So we talked about this before, and we talked about how it is going, or I can't remember off the top of my head, what is the status of this legislation? But basically, one of the criteria that is part of this new package is that you have to recognize Israel's right to exist. If you do not recognize Israel's right to exist, you are not going to be allowed to continue through the citizenship process. Similarly, this new news that we're hearing about kind of follows down that line. So, there wasn't a ton of information about this in English. If there are people who are German speakers, I'd be really interested to learn about if there's more specifics about this in the media in German. Because based on what is reported in English media, the main piece that they bring up when talking about, okay, it's not just that all pro-Palestinian social media suddenly becomes a disqualifier. That's not my understanding. My understanding is that you have to use specifically the phrase from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and also have it in the context of calling for violence against Israel or denying Israel's right to exist. And that's part of why that specific phrase is such a problem, because from the river to the sea, from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, Palestine will be free. That calls for the elimination of Israel, which is against Germany's interest in their historical responsibility of protecting Jewish life. And Purple Pulp saying, I just banned myself. Oh yeah, don't clip it and send it to the German authorities. So I thought this was very, very interesting. And I have a few more things that I want to comment. But Armin, let's get your reaction first.
Yeah, so actually it's good that a lot of people in the chat have said the things that I could respond to, because I don't even have to take notes, because the comments will make responding to the comments are my notes. Young Atheist is saying, if Germany did this, why other Western countries are not doing this? Well, that's a good question, Young Atheist. And also it sets a precedent. It's normalizing it. Hopefully, because because one liberal country has done it, other liberal countries it becomes less of a taboo for other countries to do it as well. Hopefully, I'm not saying it will happen, but at least it's basically making it easier for other liberal countries to do the same, because it normalizes it. And then this person is saying the Islamists who are already in Germany will breed faster now. Yes, this is obviously not a solution. This is just a confirmation that these things are possible. Obviously, doesn't even scratch the surface, but at least we get to say here We told you so, that these things are possible, that you could do these things,
Well,
and
it's
all the other things.
Armin can
And
say
no,
I
no,
told
hold
you
on.
so. I was skeptical, and now he can
Yeah, well,
dance
no,
on
you
me.
should be. No, no, it's good to be skeptical. You should be skeptical. But I'm just gonna say that all the other things that I suggested that doesn't contradict liberal values, they are also possible. This doesn't even scratch the surface of what we need to do, right? Um, when it comes to, I think, uh, but 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 given that this is now possible, then all the other suggestions that are considered fascistic or tyrannical or a violation of free speech, and I will tell you why this is not a violation on anyone's free speech. I could tell you that soon, because somebody, I think, brought it up. But all the other things that we're suggesting, for example, making it mandatory that uh, children are educated in school regarding de-radicalization content, and being very aggressive about it, like Islamic teaching being challenged in schools and it being mandatory on all kids, including the children of Muslim families, and also being tested for the government to make sure that the children are understanding this, separating children from parents that are not participating in this de-radicalization process. And this is also not fascistic at all. In every school, in most schools all around the world, including liberal countries, it is mandated that children need to read and learn how to read and write. It is mandated that children need to learn how to do math. So it could, given that we have a precedent, it could also be mandated that children have to go through a de-radicalization education process. If this is fascistic, then teaching children math is also fascistic. Um, uh, uh, Closing every single institution that is teaching Islamic values is not a violation of freedom of expression, because I think freedom of expression is for individuals. It doesn't necessarily have to hold for institutions and organizations and schools. Every single institution that is teaching Islamic values should be shut down. Should be shut down.
Okay, I'm not gonna follow you on
Anybody,
that one.
yeah, I know. I'm just saying that, given that I'm saying, I told you that this is not too much, and now it's you can see that it's not too much. So all the other things that I'm suggesting is also not too much. Anybody who gets a citizenship and then after they get their citizenship, come and support Palestine in this way, or so. For example, I think this citizenship is not good enough. So it shouldn't just be this one chant. Any form, anything that could be considered anti-Semitic, any anti-LGBT position, uh, these should be including in the test. Like when I became a Canadian citizen, one thing that we should have agreed with was that FGM, female genital mutilation, is bad. We should have said agreed with that. So, given that we have a precedent for that in liberal countries, I think we could add a whole bunch of other values that people should be agreeing with when they become citizens, right? They should be anti-FGM. They should be pro-LGBT. They should be pro-Israel. I think that it's not enough for you not to get a citizenship if you have an anti-Israeli position, like from the river to the sea. I think you should be made to actually have a pro-Israeli position. You have to actually take a stance that you defend Israel's right to exist, to get citizenship. I think that should be part of the agenda, part of the requirements. And also, I think anytime, if you have anything on social media ever that suggests that this is not your view, then whatever you say will not be accepted of you. And even after that, even after you get your citizenship, if there's anything on social media or if you participate in any protest that suggests that you were lying on your citizenship test, your citizenship should be removed from you with the understanding that you never got it to begin with, because it was based on a lie. These are the measurements I think all these Western liberal countries should go with. And again, none of this is a violation of your free speech, because, first of all, when you are becoming a citizen, you are not a citizen yet. So you don't have the privilege of that other citizens enjoy. It's not your right. The right of freedom of expression is for the citizens, not for people who want to become citizens. And also, even if you're a citizen, if you create an institution that is promoting vile ideas, you have the freedom of expression as an individual, but you don't have that as an institution. The institution should be able to be broken apart, and I think that's not a violation of free speech either. So yeah. Susie is very skeptical. Look at her. Look at her eyes. She's very
I'm thinking. I'm thinking deeply. Okay, here's the thing. Armin, I want to clarify something. You make it sound like people who are immigrants and refugees and asylum seekers like have no free expression rights. Like that's not true. Like here's the thing.
No, I didn't say that.
I said you make it sound like.
Oh, okay.
And I want people to understand that like they do. Like immigrants have rights, okay? But just that doesn't mean that your record of what you have said and what you have expressed will not be used when considering your background and if you are eligible and a good fit for citizenship. Do people understand the difference?
Yeah, so just to be clear, I didn't say immigrants don't have rights. What I'm suggesting is that
I know.
I just want to clarify for other people. What I'm suggesting is that, first of all, rights are not in nature. Rights are given and taken. The rights that you have are the rights that a nation state decides to give to you. So it's about what rights should you have. Obviously, the rights that a nation state gives to its citizens are above and beyond than the rights and freedoms the nation state gives to its non-citizens, or else there wouldn't be any point to citizenship. The whole point of citizenship is now, as a citizen, you get to enjoy more rights in this nation state. So obviously, immigrants have rights, but citizens have more rights, and that's the whole point of citizenship.
Sure. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that because sometimes people in the live chat act like I'm woke because I believe immigrants have rights.
No. People in the live chat a lot of them are agreeing with you. The cat lady is saying, I'm also skeptical. I'm with Susie. John is saying Susie's right to be skeptical. Yeah, of course. So I just don't want you to think like, this is so. Yeah.
No, like, okay, here's the thing. I was with you for most of it. Like, I've been very skeptical of Armin's positions in the past where I'm like, okay, like, I see the utility in what you're proposing, but I don't think, like, they'll ever be able to legally implement it. And this has proven me wrong once again. That being said, I was not with you on the banning all Islamic institutions. I want to hear you justify that, sir.
Well, if, for example, if we have an institution, a far-right institution that is teaching white supremacy, right? All of these liberal countries, all of these European countries are completely, they wouldn't wait a freaking second to come and shut it down, right?
That's not true.
Right?
Not in America, that's not true. In Germany,
no, I said these ones.
In America,
I said specifically these ones. I said these ones, right?
Okay.
So I think that given that Islamic teachings include slavery, includes misogyny, includes anti-LGBT, they should apply the same standards. Again, that's not a violation of your free speech because as an individual, you could go hold those beliefs and say those beliefs. So here's the thing: when you incorporate, or you become a nonprofit or another corporation, or you build an institution, that is a privilege. That is the government is giving you a framework for you to be able to use that framework to continue to do those operations. That the government doesn't owe you that. When we say we defend freedom of speech, that means as an individual, the government should not come and stop you from expressing certain views. But it doesn't mean that it owes you the framework of the legal framework that it has provided for people to be able to operate to people with such horrific, barbaric beliefs to promote them. Why would the government owe you that? You could still have those opinions as an individual, but why would I aid you with that? So removing that privilege from you is not a violation of your freedom of expression, in my opinion.
Okay, if you're looking at this within the context of all of the things that Germany has built into its laws to curtail and monitor anti-Semitic expression, which is something that's like on the books, people need to understand that. I don't know if people know like how seriously Germany takes anti-Semitism. If you're taking it within that context, I think you make a lot of sense. And you know, actually that raised a point. When I was doing this research, I was learning a little bit more about how Germany, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess like integrates or takes this stance of a special historical responsibility for the Holocaust, like upon itself within its own legislation and penal code. And I wasn't able to find like a lot of information about this in English. So if there are any Germans that could teach me more about what this special historical responsibility means in German law, I'd be very, very interested to learn more about that. Because it seemed like a very specific conception. And one thing that I think I wanted to highlight when talking about this is that because of when, you know, most of us were born, I don't know if we appreciate the extent to which the Holocaust as an event changed the way that we as humans conceive of humankind. And
yeah,
when doing my research on this topic last night, I was thinking once again about how there's the kind of a parallel to October 7th, being like this October 7th itself was also a war upon what we believe of humankind itself. And I don't know. It makes sense to me why the Germans are taking that so seriously and personally. And also I think it's very interesting that Olaf Scholz has come forward and recently, about a month ago, I think, literally come out and said that Islamism specifically has no place in Germany. I don't know if I've heard of any Western leader saying it in those terms so plainly and so boldly. And, you know, as much as we like to trash politicians and stuff because we get frustrated by them, when a politician does something that we appreciate, we should praise them to incentivize more of that behavior. You know, they're humans too. They need carrots just like the rest of us. They need the carrot and the stick just like the rest of us. So I would like to praise Olaf Scholz for openly saying that Islamism has no place in Germany. I think it was very well. People need to understand that the foil to anti-Semitism is not Islamophobia, it's Islamism. And I think it's awesome to call out in those terms. And you're seeing the German state really act upon that sentiment now. You know, hopefully not too little too late.
To be fair, I mean, it does seem a little bit too late. Well, not a little bit. I mean, I think a lot of people say this is too little too late. And I agree with them. Okay. I think Germany has been hit so much. And I mean, I still welcome this. Okay. I agree. A lot of people in the chat were saying this is too little too late. Okay. But here's the two things. Okay. That is very beneficial. First of all, don't underestimate the, I told you so part of this, right? Because the things that are doing was considered to be far right. What Germany is doing right now is considered to be far right, and now these central, liberal parties are doing it, which basically means that even if what they're doing is too little, too late, it validates all the people that were criticizing them, all the anti-mass migration, all the people who were concerned about the rise of Islamism in Europe. Basically, they're putting a stamp of, without actually saying it, they're saying you were right, we were wrong, right?
Yeah, they can't
And
actually
also,
say it. They can't say it
say
out
that,
loud.
but that's what this means. Also, I don't want to give Schultz any credit, much of a credit for this. This is them losing votes to the so-called far right parties, right? This is them realizing that these far right parties are becoming so popular, and they're trying to shift their position so that they're not bleeding so much votes to them, to the AFD, right? And it might work. It might work because the main reason, the problem with these AFD party in Germany is that, I mean, the good thing about them is that they're anti-mass migration. The problem with them is that they're isolationists, and they're also very pro Putin. Okay, they're very pro Russia. So they went from
what's that on about? What the
yeah, so they are anti-Islam, which is an illiberal idea, but they're also pro another illiberal idea, which is Putinism. Right? So that's the pro. So the benefit that we have from this AFD parties like the AFD, is that they come in, they steal the votes from these more centrist parties, and these centrist parties, hopefully, is that they would readjust their position so that they're not bleeding so much votes. So hopefully they will have more sane positions in a way that they are not this loose with migration, but at the same time, I don't want these parties that are so illiberal, so pro Putin to win as well. So hopefully, again, I know this is very small and very late, but the most beneficial effect that we could get from all of this is from these other liberal parties to readjust their position to a more sane position, like what we're seeing right now here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. John is so funny. He's saying AFD also has some messed up historiographical views, to put it mildly. Many of them hate Roma too. For those who don't know, Roma is the politically correct term for gypsy. Okay. John, let's be honest. That's called being European. For our Europeans, I'm taking the piss, okay? I'm making a joke. But low key, I never want to hear Europeans talking about how racist Americans are when I hear what they say about the Roma, okay? They say, never ask a woman her age, a man how much money he makes, and a European their opinion on the Roma. Because what I have heard Europeans say about the Roma is more casual and 10 times worse than what I have ever in my life heard any like white American say about a black person. I swear to God. I'm like, you don't guys, you guys don't have the room to trash us. When you say the craziest shit way more casually.
Yeah.
Oh, Kenny is saying that's a bit racist towards Europeans, Susanna. I think he's joking. I'm being silly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it just tickles me.
Let me actually respond to some more comments. I don't know how to press. Oh my God. What the hell?
This is I caught you. I caught you.
Jesus. Okay. Let's not open this can of worms. We might get in trouble on YouTube if you open that. Okay.
I caught you, motherfucker. I caught you.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, let's get to the comments. When they find out that they will just lie in these tests. Yeah, exactly. That's the main problem with these tests. This is why I think it's not enough to ask these people. First of all, the good thing is that they're looking at their social media. So even if they want to lie on their test, if they have a record of taking these positions, they will hold that against them. I think that's not enough. I think it should go on to even after the test. They basically have to always been told, if they get reported for taking these positions even after they get their citizenship, I think their citizenship should be stripped away from them. That's my position.
Fraud.
Yeah, exactly. Nastasia, am I pronouncing it right? I think I'm gonna name my daughter that. Okay, Nastasia said, "Yep," and that's the way it is. Don't give the Germans history lessons about the First Amendment. They learned the horrible way. Yeah, okay. So, like I mentioned, this is not a violation of freedom of expression. In my view, freedom of expression should be for individuals, and also it's for your citizens. It's for your citizenship. For your citizen. It shouldn't be for citizenship tests, because if you think like I should be able to allow, if you are against citizenships, including your views, that means that your citizenship is open to anybody with any view. Obviously, that would be a ridiculous standard that no country has. Every country has certain. Almost every liberal country has certain criteria for certain values and views that you have to have for you to be a citizen. And nobody considers that a violation of people's free speech. And given that we already have that as precedent, then why not increase the values and views that we require from you? Yes, I agree with this. Falcon saying, Armin and Susanna, you should check out. What is this?
He's talking about Hassan Piker. What did Hassan say about this? I haven't seen. I try to avoid his content, man.
Yeah. Anyways, GJ has a super chat for you. So you want to read that while we get this?
GJ, thank you for the super chat. Saying, Susanna, does Google Translate integration in the Chrome browser not work well enough for you to read German language content? I use it on Russian. I mean, it's all right. It's not the best. And also, yeah, it's all right.
ChatGPT translation is so much better than Google Auto Translate. But yeah, go
on. And Joe the First just became a new member. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for supporting the channel. Welcome to Satan's Minions.
Yes, thank you. Once Israel retaliates against the Islamic Republic and I finish covering that, I will go back to doing some member-only live streams. Anyways, I am very interested in getting to this final news today, but let's do the second news. I have some videos to show. But okay, what's the second news? Is it clappable? Oh no, it's not clappable.
Well, no one died. People did get hurt though.
Okay. We're clapping because we're happy that no one died. Okay, that's why we're clapping. Okay. Cool. Next news.
Terror strikes Europe. 31 injured in Germany and 2 Israeli embassy attacks. In Germany, Denmark, and Sweden, it's been a hot and busy week, apparently. In a series of incidents across Europe, tensions related to the Middle East conflict have sparked violence and fear. In Germany, this is crazy. In Germany, a Syrian national wreaked havoc in Essen, setting fire to 2 apartment buildings and injuring 31 people, including 8 children. 2 of the children I heard were in critical condition. The first fire left 2 children in critical condition, and shortly after, the suspect set another building on fire, seriously injuring 11 people. The 41-year-old suspect, seen wearing a Palestinian flag and a keffiyeh pattern headband, was then arrested after ramming his car twice into a store while brandishing a machete. Okay, what? We're going to have to unpack that for a second. Meanwhile, Scandinavian countries faced attacks on Israeli embassies. In Stockholm, shots were fired at the Israeli embassy, with authorities finding a weapon in an empty ammunition box nearby. Copenhagen experienced a more severe incident with 2 explosions near the Israeli embassy believed to be caused by hand grenades. Police spokesperson Jens Jespersen reported, quote, the suspects were between the age of 15 and 20, highlighting the youth of those involved. These events underscore the growing concerns about the spillover of Middle Eastern conflicts into European cities, raising questions about security measures and the impact on local communities, particularly Jewish populations. So, okay, let's take this like one at a time because there's so many incidents that happened. I was like, let's cover them at once. Okay. First of all, there was this incident that happened in Germany where a guy goes, he sets a building on fire with people inside. Then he goes set another building on fire with people inside. I'm talking people have to be jumping out the apartment windows. They're throwing children out the windows onto those cushions because the freaking building's on fire. Then he takes a car or a van or something, has a machete, starts ramming into a shop, and then just destroying shit. Somehow they managed to, what's the word I'm looking for? Apprehend him. Meanwhile, after he went and rammed his car into this store, the regular citizens have to just throw chairs and stuff at him to try to make him stop and to try to prevent him from killing anyone. They're just throwing random furniture at him. Which low-key as an American, I'm like, see, this is why we have guns. But I'm being a bit facetious. Okay, but here's what I want to highlight. This man did this attack while he has like a Palestinian flag like on him, or he had like a little emblem or something, and like kind of a keffiyeh. It's not like a full keffiyeh shawl. It was kind of like just a little strip, whatever, but clearly the keffiyeh fabric. And I'm like, see, the problem is, it's like the gaslighting. Like, could anyone seriously be like, oh my God, the German people are so wrong for not wanting, speaking of the last news story we covered, like cracking down on pro-Palestinian social media activism, when this is what's happening in their streets, can anyone really blame the German people for being like, yeah, no, we don't want that in our country? When in France, we covered the incident a few weeks ago where a guy tried to set a synagogue on fire and kill people. And the only reason why he failed to do so is because he got the time for Shabbat wrong. And he literally did this attack with a Palestinian flag like tied around his waist. What kind of message do they honestly think that sends to the population? Like, what gets me is the gaslighting, and it's like, oh my God, this movement is just not all about terrorism and anti-Semitism. And I'm like, okay, well, you guys seem to be doing a fucking piss poor, horrible job showing that it's not. What the fuck? Like, here's the thing. I'm not saying that all people who care about this cause, who care about the lives of these civilians, feel this way. Obviously not. Obviously not. Obviously not. But who, when we're talking about normies, when we're talking about the average person that doesn't pay much attention to politics, that's just trying to pay their bills and turns on the news to see this happening in their town of Essen, and this is what the fuck they see, can anyone honestly, in good faith, blame them for being like, yeah, I think they want to terrorize, murder people. I think they hate Jews, and they're doing this while wearing the symbols of this country and this cause. I think that's going to communicate something to the general public about the nature of this cause. And then meanwhile, people that are like opposed to us are like, how dare you? Like, you can't be for real, right? I don't know. Am I out of pocket right now? Am I out of pocket, or is this not like gaslighting? like I don't know. They seem to be wanting to like be stabbing people, setting shit on fire. They're literally doing it while wearing the Palestinian flag. Literally going to go like attack Jewish institutions. This guy's running around the street after ramming his freaking truck into a tienda, like running around with the machete. Like, how are people supposed to take this? What conclusion is a normie supposed to take from this? Am I out of pocket here? And then meanwhile, people are running around the streets across different countries, like yelling Khaybar, Khaybar, like Ya Yahud. Like, why are they, what does that chant mean? Why are they talking about genociding a Jewish tribe over 1,000 years ago? Like, people holding like Hezbollah flags, people saying like Yemen, Yemen, make us proud, turn another ship around, like praising the Houthis that like kill gay people, crucify them, bring back slavery. I have to laugh because it's so fucking absurd. And then in the same breath, they turn around and look at us and be like, how dare you say we support terrorists? Like, you racist white bitch, how dare you?
You said all the things I wanted to say. There's nothing left.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. You know, maybe to someone who wasn't very familiar with this whole conflict, with this cause, because they could have gotten away with some of this apologism, you know, because let me be clear. If you go like literally any farther below the surface, like the full-blown terrorism jumps out immediately. But like for people just that don't know about the conflict, it's a lot to learn about. You know, it's complicated, it's confusing sometimes. You don't know which side to believe. So a lot of normies are just like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's a fair criticism. I'll hold judgment. You know, I don't want to be judgmental towards a whole group or ethnicity of people. They could have gotten I feel like before October 7th, there was more of that cover. You know what I mean? That apologism maybe could have gotten you a little bit farther with just the average non-informed person. But after what we've seen in the past year, the average person, when this happens in your town, like Essen is a really chill place. It's beautiful. And like when this is happening in Essen, when people are getting stabbed to death by an ISIS dude at a diversity festival, again, I can't get over how that attack literally sounds like what some stupid 4chan dude would make up about an attack to demonize refugees. A refugee from Syria turns out to be an ISIS guy who then stabs people to death at none other than a diversity festival in Sloningen. It literally sounds like something you would make up to demonize a refugee, but it literally happened. Like, and then it's like, no, you're just a xenophobe, man. Dude.
Just being racist.
Yeah. So this kind of apologism just isn't going to work anymore when there's a dude setting buildings on fire, sending children into critical condition. When you have to see images of people in your city, in your country, throwing children out of a window to save them from burning to death. Nah. It's like, and then it's like, no, you have to really, you know, it's everything's not like that. Not to mention just the pure virulent, acidic anti-Semitism that's just shouted in the streets all the time. Ay, 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 it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. My friends, mis amigos, it's a hot mess. So that was the attack in Essen. But I also wanted to talk about the attack in Denmark and Sweden. So there was, Dia's telling me to wait until tomorrow. Because obviously tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of October 7th. And I think we are all bracing ourselves for hopefully no attacks anywhere. And also like the sheer amount of virulent bigotry, anti-Semitism, unadulterated violence, calls for death and destruction that we will see essentially in celebration of October 7th around the world. That's what I'm anticipating, which is horrific. But, when Har Sultan says that the Islamists played their hands too soon, like this is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. They play their hand too soon. So let me back up. I'm a little too caffeinated right now.
No, that's great. Keep going. Keep going. I love it.
Oh my God. So let's talk about these attacks on Israeli embassies that happened last week. And basically they happened in the early hours of Wednesday morning. And I believe that they were supposed to coincide with Iran's attack on Israel. Because when I was researching this, I found that news just came out like the day before that the authorities have identified that these attacks on the Danish and Swedish Israeli embassies were actually Iranian directed attacks. This was an exclusive reported in Iran International. So this is brand new information that just came out. So basically some teenagers were, and here's the thing, a lot of crime in Sweden is conducted by adolescents because they get a break when it comes to, what's the word I'm looking for? Sentencing. Did these attacks. And what's so interesting, Armin, is that if anyone is familiar with how the Islamic Republic likes to conduct attacks and transnational repression, what they often do is they will hire local criminals. So basically, an unnamed source from the Swedish police told Iran International that they found evidence that the Islamic Republic has been involved in the incidents, and they're doing preliminary investigations into the attacks in their nation's soil. And basically, this is part of Iran's consistent strategy of, because they are freaking horrible at attacking the actual nation of Israel itself, they just resort to attacking random Israelis and literally just random Jews around the world like a bunch of fucking losers. Okay, because that's what they are. This is a loser that just lashes out at anyone they can because they need to feel like they have some control, because they have so much like pain and hurt taken to their ego because they know they're a fucking loser. Okay, that's how I feel about it. Let me calm down. And
no, don't calm down. This is great. Don't calm down. Don't calm down at all. This is great.
So basically, the Swedish officials are saying this, off the record. The Mossad is saying that the Islamic Republic is behind these attacks. And I think that this can kind of be interpreted like two different ways. So there are some people that say that this actually shows how the Islamic Republic is actually very weak, because basically the best that they can do is go hire local random criminals to be their mercenaries. And then other people, so that they're like, that shows that they actually don't have like a great operational capacity. They're outsourcing. They have to outsource their terrorism. But then other people say that actually this is a specific tactic that they use to try to frame this as merely a criminal activity, to try to give them a level of distance from the attack. So there's many different ways of looking at it. But this was very interesting because this news about these attacks that happened simultaneously just came out about the Islamic Republic involvement. Not entirely surprising. But then it also reminded me that in America, there have been a number of indictments that came down from the Department of Justice that we haven't even covered on this show, where there's been multiple instances recently of the Islamic Republic hiring Pakistani nationals in the United States to conduct attempted assassinations and attempted terrorism on behalf of the Islamic Republic in the United States. Like a number of Pakistanis, a bunch of them came down at once. And then there was another instance that happened where the DOJ unveiled an indictment about how the Islamic Republic is using the Hells Angels motorcycle gang to also conduct their hits on people and their attempted, intimidation, transnational repression, terrorism, etc. The Hells Angels. Now, we actually covered this before a few years ago. And it's very interesting because in the case of Sweden, some of these gangs that the Islamic Republic uses are actually also used in regards to the drug trafficking trade that the IRGC is involved in. Guys, the web goes deep. The web goes deep. So I just wanted to touch on that because we haven't had the opportunity to cover that as an entire segment. The Pakistani nationals and the Hells Angels.
Think about how pathetically weak they are, given that they cannot actually react to Israel because they don't have the strength to push back against Israel. They have to go after random individuals, random defenseless individuals, to exert their power, to demonstrate that they have some power. But they fail even then. Even then, they actually don't manage to achieve much, which is quite embarrassing, I think, for the Islamic Republic. Yeah.
It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. Because, say what you will, the Mossad does a pretty damn good job of keeping both eyes open, even if they're sleeping when it comes to the safety of Jews around the world. I remember the Mossad alerting random specific Jewish businessmen in Turkey, you got to get out because the Islamic Republic is coming for you, now. Around the world, man.
Let's go to the super chat.
Okay. So Kenny gave a super chat, just no comment, just a super chat. Thank you, Kenny. Angry Keyboard Warrior is saying, do you stand by your prior support for Greta Thunberg? Did we have prior support for Greta Thunberg? I don't remember this.
I remember once when she was a child saying that I assumed that she was a child. And I said, well, we shouldn't talk about a child like that. And some people sending me her age are like, oh, never mind, she's not a child. I mean, she has some very anti-Israeli positions, which we are against.
To put it mildly.
She's supporting terrorism. So we're against that, obviously. I am for everybody who wants to defend the environment. I am for that, but the way she seems to be doing it is making it so that people hate environmental activists now. So I think she might have an opposite effect. I think she might have an opposite effect on defending the environment as well.
It's like vegan activists. Those people are deplorable. I frankly just think that she needed a new thing to stay relevant. And so she picked up the Palestinian cause because it's just so freaking easy to grift off of that cause. Like Macklemore. Do people even know how insanely irrelevant Macklemore was in the music industry nowadays? Beyond irrelevant. How did he become relevant again? All of a sudden he's just like Palestine everything. Makes me sick. Oh, and by the way, guys, I forgot to say, because I didn't have a stream like Armin did, Lashana Tova. Lashana Tova, my friends. You're muted.
I said that means Happy New Year for people who don't know in
Yes.
Hebrew, for our Israelis.
And I missed out on getting some crown challah. I need to see if there's a bakery that can still help me find it. I'm obsessed with crown challah. Oh my God. If you guys live in the Bay Area, you have to get crown challah from Arizmendi Bakery. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, animation gifted 5
Thank
Atheist
you.
Republic memberships. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
GJ also gave a super chat saying the Roma et al. Et al. Who's et al? Gave Dutch lingo disease swearing. I have no idea what this means. But thank you for the super chat. Gnome gave a super chat saying
It means and others.
No, I know what it means, but
okay.
who in the context of the sentence, who is at all? That's what didn't make sense to me. I'm like, who are the others? Anyways, Gnome gave a super chat saying Armin in Hebrew equals sex mountain. Is that literally what it means?
Does it mean that?
I mean,
that's fantastic. I like that.
Hell yeah, I'm a sex mountain.
Okay. No, I'm here saying no. Okay,
no.
the letter. No. False.
Hey, let him, guys. Let him dream. Okay, let him dream.
It means okay. Let's just pretend it does mean that. Okay, don't ruin my.
Okay. Kenny gave 5 Atheist Republic memberships. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much, Kenny. And you highlighted this, Armin. What is Sohail saying?
Thank you, Kenny. Oh, Sohail saying Armin Susanna khoda vakile kheli cute. Sohail is saying that Armin, I swear Susanna is so cute.
Oh.
God means God judging Susanna is very cute.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jack Johnson gave a super chat saying, how does Greta support terrorism? Example, source.
I mean, she had the chant from the river to the sea. She had the kefiyah, supporting attacks on Israel, waving the Palestinian flag when there's attacks on Israel, using that flag. There's so many of it. Questioning Israel's right to exist, standing up with the people who are anti-Israeli, standing up with the people who want to see Israel destroyed. That is supporting terrorism. That is supporting genocide, to be honest, actually.
Autumn's insane. Well, when she opens her mouth. Okay.
I mean, do you want to? I mean, there's so many of it. Do you want me to go find it right now on live on air? I mean, this is so easily accessible. I think you shouldn't be able. Shouldn't have a problem to be able to go find it. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn. Never mind. Yeah, I think I had way too much caffeine this morning. I feel hyped up right now, guys.
That's good. It's giving me it's giving me a lot of energy. So
I know I might run my mouth. You know what? Fuck it. Good men bled and died for my ability to say some bullshit protected under my constitution, and I'm gonna live like I don't forget that. Okay. Some people in this country are goddamn ungrateful as well.
By the way, I heard there's some droughts in Brazil, so be careful with your caffeine rations. You might run out.
I mean, we grow coffee all around the world. That's okay. I'll switch to Ethiopian.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. All right. Okay. Is the next news clappable?
It is clappable in the sense that it's, as the Persian ones would say, the world is round.
Ah, the world is round. Fantastic. Okay, so next news.
Next news, Pakistani cleric advocated for blasphemy deaths, now is hunted for insults himself. And Armin, I want you to I want you to, this guy is notorious, absolutely notorious. But I want you to listen to what he's alleged to have said and then tell me if he's wrong, because I don't think he's wrong. I think people in the nation of Pakistan are hunting him over something that is Islamically accepted, but they just don't like it. But I thought this was well known. I literally thought this was let me not get ahead of myself. Okay. In a stunning turn of events, Pakistani cleric Mufti Tariq Masood, once a vocal advocate for immediately executing those accused of blasphemy, now finds himself on the run, facing the very accusations he used to condemn others for. Masood sparked outrage across Pakistan with his controversial statements about the Prophet Muhammad and the Quran, claiming that the Prophet was illiterate and relied on scribes to document the holy book. In a particularly inflammatory remark, Masood stated, quote, "If the person, Prophet Muhammad, who is presenting the Quran did not write even a single word of it, and it got written by others," further alleging that this led to grammatical errors in the Quran that remain to this day. The irony of Masood's situation is palpable, given his previous stance that even if someone had apologized, we cannot say whether it is from the heart or just to show, so he should be punished according to the blasphemy laws. Basically saying that even if someone commits blasphemy and even if they repent, we should still execute them because we don't know if they're just doing it for show. As Masood attempts to backpedal, claiming that his words were taken out of context, his case highlights the volatile nature of blasphemy accusations in Pakistan and the potential dangers of the very laws he once championed. So let me go find and Mufti Armin. Everyone use the Mufti Armin emoji in the live chat, okay? Let me give more context to what he actually said, according to English media, right? And I know we have some Pakistanis in the live chat. If you have more information on this case, please let me know. But Mufti Armin, please put on your Mufti hat, okay? And tell us, is Mufti Tariq Masood off base, or is he correct? Okay, here are some of his comments. He asserted that the Prophet Muhammad did not know how to read and write, and that he relied on scribes to document the Quran. He claimed that the Prophet did not write even a single word of it. He also saying, "We follow the Japanese and listen to their speeches because they are literate. Some are PhD scholars, some are scientists, but our Prophet did not know how to read or write. He did not write a word by himself, but rather called Sahafis, writers like Zayd and others, to write it for him. And since he did not know how to write, there were grammatical errors and he never noticed them, and the errors still exist." He added that the Iqra Bismil chapter or surah in the Quran, where Allah has advised strict punishment.
Yeah.
No, just got to show off. Where Allah had advised strict punishment for kufr or disbelief, had semantic errors in the use of the letters. Masood called it a grave error. So this caused extreme backlash. Now this man is on the run for his life. Mufti Armin, was he wrong?
Well, the first part is Islamic. The part that Muhammad didn't know how to read and write. The Quran was revealed to him, and the Iqra doesn't mean read. Iqra means recite, and he recited the Quran when he went to the people. He didn't need, and that's actually considered to be part of the miracle of the Quran, where given that somebody didn't know how to read and write, brought the Quran, which I never understood. Why is that a miracle, given that he didn't write it down anyways? it would be a miracle if he didn't know how to write and then he started writing. But he just recited the Quran, and that doesn't make it a miracle, given that Arabia at that time was filled with people who didn't know how to read and write, but they recited poetry. So Muhammad did nothing else other than recite the Quran, where people who didn't know how to read and write did commonly back then. So I don't know how that's a miracle. And he recited it, and there were a few people there that knew how to write, for example, Zayd or Ali, and Muhammad recited the Quran to them, and they wrote it. And that's according to Islam itself. Islam doesn't have any problem with this. However, the way he's talking about it, it seems like he's suggesting that's a negative, given. But Islam talks about this as if it's a miracle and something positive. So that part is Islamic, that Muhammad didn't know how to read and write. The part that is absolutely kufr, and you could takfir this man for it, and this guy is an infidel. I will announce that this man is an infidel. What
Oh
he
my
said is
gosh.
un-Islamic. What he said is un-Islamic is that there's anything wrong with the Quran. Just because Muhammad didn't know how to read and write, that does not mean the Quran there's anything wrong with it. God himself in the Quran promised that he will protect the Quran. So even if Muhammad could not verify if this was grammatically correct, God would have made sure, as he promised in the Quran itself, God himself would have made sure that everything that is being documented, everything that is being written, is absolutely perfect and there's no flaw with it. The Quran, that as we have it today, is considered to be the perfect, uncreated word of God, independent from time and space itself. And this man has now has said that there's imperfection in God's word, and that is heresy. And what he's saying is un-Islamic. So yes, the Quran has no grammatical. In fact, the Quran cannot, by definition, pay attention to this part. By definition, Quran cannot have grammatical errors because grammar rules come from the Quran. The rules of grammar in Arabic are defined by the Quran.
Oh damn.
It's not that you have certain grammatic rules and then the Quran has to abide by them. The Quran created the Arabic language as we know it today, and whatever use the Quran uses Arabic, that will become the rule. So there's that.
So then, what did people say about like the random letters, like Alif Lam Mim, like?
Those are codes.
Oh.
Allahu Alam. Only God knows what this means. Those are basically God's version of what the fuck. It's WTF. At the beginning of the chapter, God he himself was kind of bamboozled by what he's saying. He was like, "What the fuck? What the hell is this?" And that's what Alif Lam Mim is.
Ay ay ay.
Yeah.
So Mufti Armin, is this your ruling?
said,
your ruling is that you're takfiring this man.
I am takfiring this man. The Quran is the perfect, uncreated, eternal word of God, inseparable from God himself. It's the only uncreated thing that we could have in our hands and everything. And by the way, not the dots, not the dialectic marks, not the a, o, or the an, and on, or the dots, only the skeleton, right? So if you look at the Quran, the original Quran that was written, it didn't have any of the dots or any of the vowels or any of these markings. Only the skeleton part, that's the uncreated word of Allah, inseparable from Allah, but independent from time and space. Okay? So this is the perfect direct word of Allah.
But why not the dots?
For you to consider it to be flawed, well, because back then when the Arabs were writing the Quran, the Arabic language was in its beginning. It was in its
infancy.
it has a in infancy. It was in its infancy, and it hasn't been shaped as a complete language that it's right now. And back then, the Arabic language didn't have any dots or any of those other dialectic marks. So, given that the Arabs, when they were writing the Quran, they wrote it without any dots, it is now understood in Islam that, well, that can't be part of the Quran because it wasn't written like that way. So only the skeleton, the original skeleton, is considered to be the word of God, and that's why the earliest Qurans that had the dots, they made sure that they write the dots or the other marks in a different color, so that the black, because they wanted to make sure that they distinguish the word of God from the parts that is not from the word of God.
Couldn't that change the meaning a lot?
Yes, because that's the problem. Because for example, without the dots, you cannot tell, for example, if this letter has the sound b, or, well, they don't have p in Arabic, b or t or th, right? So they cannot tell the difference, and it could mean any of those. And technically, the original Quran without those marks, you could make it say a completely different thing. And one person actually went and figured it out that if you actually remove all those marks and try to actually make sense of the Quran, it actually was an entirely different text that the Arabs changed during the Abbasid and Umayyad dynasty. By picking where they put the dots, they actually completely changed the meaning of the Quran. And the original meaning of the Quran was not even a revelation from God. It was a Christian prayer. So the Quran is not even an Islamic text. The Quran is a Christian prayer that the meanings of it has been changed by the Umayyad and the Abbasid dynasty deciding. So the original language of the Quran is not even Arabic. This is Syriac. This is Syriac, which is an Aramaic language, and which is very close to Arabic. But the dots have been chosen in a place. The dots and the other vowel sounds have been chosen to make it mean something else. But if you remove all of that, and actually, if you read the Quran that way, it makes a lot more sense. Right now, if you read it, it's just like all over the place. It's very chaotic. But if you remove all the dots and the vowel sounds, the a, o, and the an, and ons, and then look at it from a Christian perspective, and then start putting it from that perspective, now a lot of the chaotic parts of the Quran start making a lot more sense with that context.
Is it as violent?
No, I mean, no. But actually, wait, hold on. Syria.
Isn't this how you said that? We were having a conversation about this years ago, probably off stream. And you were talking about how when you look at it through this perspective, the whole thing about the 72 virgin is actually about eating grapes or something, right?
Well, that's what the scholar says. Christopher Luxemburg considers, like, I mean, it doesn't mean grapes, but it could mean, I mean, it's without the dots, you could basically make this say whatever the fuck you wanted to say. That's how it works, right? And the versions could turn into grapes. I mean, this book right now already with the dots and the IOs and the and ons, it's already very flexible to make it mean whatever you want. But now when people realize that the dots and the vowels were not put in there for many years after, then you realize that this is just an empty canvas that you could paint whatever the fuck you want on the Quran. Yeah.
I think you should do a whole stream on this.
Well, if anybody wants to do more reading on what I just said, the book is called if you could go do it, it's called The Syrio-Aramaic Reading of the Quran by Christoph Luxemburg. Christoph Luxemburg is available. You could go read that. So if you want to read more about what I just said.
Yeah. Well, I think that was very educational for our audience. Thank you, Armin. So
you want to do the super chat?
Yes, let's do the super chats. Animation is saying Mufti Tariq Masood is a meme material for India. It's true. I honestly wish that I could understand the language because I see people memeing on him all the time. Saying there are some Hindu speakers in India who are hilarious as well. What do you mean, like all the different gurus, like Sadhguru? That guy's a freak. GJ gave a super chat. Oh no, that's for Armin. We'll go back. Gasian celebrating his membership for 33 months. Thank you, Gasian. Saying, is it kafefe? Kafefe in Arabic. Exactly. Animation is saying, or celebrating his membership. Thank you. Saying, imagine a supreme book that can't handle dots. Yeah. Well, this is one of the many things that goes into the narrative, the standard narrative of the Quran has holes in it. We talked about that before. Okay, so here are a couple super chats for you, Armin. GJ is saying, and illiterate Muhammad equals most perfect. So they're basically saying like what Muhammad is supposed to be considered like the most perfect, even though he was illiterate. How do you explain that, sir?
Oh, Muhammad is not the most perfect. Muhammad is only the most perfect when it comes to living the life that the Quran wants you to live. He's only most perfect in that sense. We said the Quran, Allah is the most perfect, and the Quran is the most perfect. Muhammad is just a messenger. He's not the most perfect. So Islamically, Quran and Allah are the only things that are the most perfect. Muhammad is only Allah's messenger, and the fact that he doesn't know how to read and write is meant to be on purpose to show that the perfection comes from God and God alone.
We got another super chat from GJ saying, Armin, how about the over 30 readings, qira'ats, that coexisted until the Hafs reading was declared the one to use worldwide by King Fahd of Saudi Arabia in 1985?
Well, I mean, the Hafs reading is not the only one. We also have the we have 7 readings right now that are commonly being used all around the world. So even today we have multiple Qurans with different variations of the Qurans, which is not just different pronunciations as Muslims make it seem. They actually have different meanings as well. The way that the Qurans that are being used right now are different enough for them to have different meanings, and the meanings are significant enough for them to even have for the commandments of Allah to be different based on which version of the Quran you pick. So yeah. So I mean, I did streams on this before. I can do it again in the future.
Leora is asking, hey Armin, what happened to Zoroastrianism? There was never Islam in Iran. I don't know what that means. There's never Islam in Iran. Oh.
There's Islam in Iran right now as we speak. What happened to Zoroastrianism? I mean, which part of history do you want me to cover about this? Zoroastrianism is still there. It's much less. I mean, Islam came and took over Iran, and that's Zoroastrianism has been. I don't know which part of the history you want me to cover, but Zoroastrianism was largely removed from Iran by an Islamic takeover. I think we know, a lot of us know this, right? Around 1400 years ago. Omar ibn Khattab, that's what happened. The second caliph of, I mean, according to Islamic history, which we don't know if it's true or not, according to Islamic history, the second caliph of Muslims came over, he invaded Iran, and he basically removed Zoroastrianism as a religion in Iran. However, Zoroastrianism has survived in Iran. A lot of the Zoroastrians went to India, but it still does exist to some extent, much less as a minority in Iran. So yeah.
And Mary Alex gave a super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker, Mary.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Cool. So let's go to the next news. We've been talking a lot today about Islamic Republic interference, and this follows that theme.
Okay. Hold on, let me remove this super chip. Okay. Clappable.
I mean, no one got hurt. Sure.
No one can. Okay, that's fantastic. Next news.
Next news. Cyber war after Quran burnings. Iran accused of hacking 15,000 Swedes. In a startling escalation of cyber warfare, Sweden has accused the Islamic Republic of Iran of orchestrating a massive hacking campaign in retaliation for Quran burning demonstrations that occurred in 2023. The Swedish security agency, SAPO, alleges that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, compromised an SMS operator to send 15,000 text messages to Swedish citizens, inciting revenge against Quran burners and portraying Sweden as an Islamophobic nation. One such message, as reported by Sweden's national broadcaster, SVT, ominously declared that those who desecrated the Quran must have their work covered in ashes. The cyber attack attributed to the IRGC's Anzu hacking group not only breached sensitive data, but also aimed to sow discord within Swedish society. Justice Minister Gunnar Stronger condemned the act, stating that it was extremely serious that a state actor such as Iran was aiming to destabilize Sweden or increase polarization in our country. While Swedish authorities have identified the suspected Iranian hackers, they have shelved the investigation due to the unlikelihood of extradition, highlighting the complex challenges of addressing international cyber threats with an increasingly interconnected world. So, Armin, what do you think they're trying to get out of just like sending mass text messages to random Swedes, going off and threatening violence and trying to about some Quran burnings?
I think they're just trying to increase tension and also to try to exert their influence, to try to demonstrate to politicians that they need appeasement. It's just basically soft power. It's just demonstrating the capacity to be able to stir shit up, and also making governments realize that if they're pissed off with you, they could cause tensions in your society, and that's why you should basically do what they want, or else there are consequences. Again, these are what pathetic states do when they don't actually have real power, or when they don't have friends, or we don't have trade relationships with other countries, so they have to resort to other ways to exert their influence, just so that they could negotiate in other ways, right?
Like this, or like hostage diplomacy.
Exactly.
Which the Islamic Republic is constantly weaponizing, not only against the United States, but also against Sweden. There's Swedish nationals that are on death row. Let me go look up his name, actually. There's a Swedish national who is on death row and has been on death row, accused of being a spy for Israel for years, because the Islamic Republic is just dangling this man's life in front of the hands of the Swedish nation, being like, if you don't play our game, we're going to kill this man. It's fucking disgusting. This is what I'm telling you guys. Like, we don't hate this regime enough. We don't hate their tactics enough. We really don't. I will never forget the fact that during the Iranian presidential election, where Raisi ended up winning that election, there was the other guy, I can't remember his name, who used to be like an IRGC general, who literally looks like a stereotype of what Hollywood would cast as an IRGC general, and people will be like, no, you can't cast that man, like that's offensive. Like, but this dude literally during the presidential debate on Iranian national TV, presidential debate, was saying, I wish I was making this up, that their economic plan, guys, remember, national presidential debate, his economic plan was to just go kidnap more foreign nationals.
Yeah.
Bald face saying to the entire world that was his economic plan for the nation. I don't know why, for the love of God, we interact with these people like this is a normal state. This is an abnormal state with medieval tactics. I don't know why we're treating them like these are also adults in the room, when the government is literally in the business of blinding other citizens as part of its justice system, chopping off people's hands as part of its justice system, openly talking about kidnapping other foreign nationals, holding them hostage, doing hostage negotiations for money as an economic policy. Also, side note, again, straight up loser behavior. This is what some pathetic thugs that have zero economic skills do in impoverished countries. Because they're fucking losers. They're men that just need to have something to show that they have power. They need to show that they can do something fucking in their community. So they just inflict fear and terror on people because they're actually so fucking incompetent and unskilled that they have nothing else better to do except just inflict violence upon people because that's the only thing they're capable of. Like, this is not manly behavior. This is straight up like incompetent teenager, adolescent behavior thuggery. Like, if you're actually skilled, if you're actually competitive in the marketplace, you don't need to do this shit. If you're actually a winner, you don't need to do this kind of thuggery. And it's so fucking shameful because as a nation, Iranians are some of the most highly educated people I have ever met in my entire life. They take education so seriously. They take their skills so seriously. They take their prowess, their competitiveness. They are some of the most successful people in the entire nation of America. Top 10. Top 10. When I got involved in the Iranian community, I have never been asked out by so many engineers in my life, okay? Meanwhile, this country is run by a fucking couple of thugs that can't come up with anything better than we're just going to snatch people off the streets, throw them on death row, and be like, okay, cough up a couple $1 billion out of frozen assets? What the fuck kind of shit? Let me shut up.
No, don't.
No, isn't it outrageous? Like, sorry, that's such a diversion, but I just can't deal. What was that guy's name, Armin? The presidential candidate that said that? Oh my God, do you remember?
Qazi. Wait, hold on. No, what's his guys, Mohsen in the chat. What's his name? Rezai. Mohsen Rezai.
Mohsen Rezai.
Yeah. That was actually like she's not exaggerating. That's legitimately his economic, like he was a candidate for presidency, and that was his economic plan to just get more hostages and exchange them for money.
No. Can I show you this guy? This guy looks like a living stereotype. Like, literally, I swear to God, if you were doing a movie and they cast the man as the Iranian general of in charge of transnational repression and terrorism, and it was this guy, there'd be people being like, no, this is offensive. Like, he looks like a living stereotype of an evil general. Are you kidding me?
Can I tell you something about this guy that you don't know? During because he was he was a commander in the Iran-Iraq War. You can see when he was young, his picture is there. And he led an operation against Saddam in Iraq that killed the most number of their own soldiers in the history of the war, the 8-year history of Iran-Iraq War. He's responsible for causing one of the most highest number of casualties for their own side. And he, many years later, admitted that he figured out that the operation that they were entering was a trap, and that if they went with it, many of their own people would die. And he admitted that he still went on with it because they were committed to that operation, even after they realized that this was a trap and that a lot of their own soldiers would die. But he went with it anyway because they were committed to the operation. He said that on TV. Yeah. It was like a lot of people keep playing that and they cannot believe, like, what the hell? What's wrong with this man?
Oh my god. This is so funny.
Yeah.
Cat Lady is saying he looks like a bad character of a terrorist organization from an American movie in the 90s. That's what I'm saying. He literally looks like if you cast this dude in a movie, people would be like, you're just trying to stereotype all Middle Easterners as dangerous terrorists. Like he looks like a 90s stereotype of a terrorist general. I'm like, that's his job. Like,
yeah, and actually there's a meme. You know that meme of that guy behind the tree going like this, like looking for an opportunity? I wish I had that ready. This man participates in every presidential election and he never wins. So there's a joke that
wait, I found it.
he's like, he just wants. Well, you have it?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, sure. You have that ready? How did you find that?
I know
so
exactly
fast?
who this is. This guy is a famous footballer in America. This guy?
Oh.
Wait.
Oh yeah, that exactly. Okay. No, but there's one with him, but with Rezai's head instead. Okay. And when Raisi died in the helicopter, people in the Iranian social media immediately put this up with Rezai's head instead because they knew that, oh my god, this is my chance again to be a president. Because every presidential election he goes in. I posted that meme on our Persian Telegram account.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
so funny.
Oh wait, we have to do the super chat. So, oh yes, Laurie was saying Susanna's on fire today. So yeah, I wanted to highlight that.
Dude, I'm out of control.
And also, I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. This person was saying, Susie, give us the coffee brand you're drinking. I need that energy in the morning.
It's just because I had 3 cups. I mean, I can go find it. I don't know off the top of my head. Man.
No, they're joking. They're just joking. Okay, so before we get
oh
to
my god,
the
this is
next
the best story. This is the best story that we've all been waiting for today.
I have been waiting for this last story all day today. But we have some super chats, so let's do the super chats first and then go to the last.
Oh, yeah. John is asking, was Omar bin Khattab gay? Do LGBT Muslims claim him? What?
Okay.
Are you gay? Was he gay?
I know where this Susie, before I answer this question, do you know where this is coming from? I think you should know where this is coming from. Do you know why people are asking if Omar was gay? Why would people think? Here's a trick question, guys. Why would people think Omar is gay?
Did he do some butcha buzzy?
No. Who would spread that rumor?
Was it Yazid?
There you go. No. It's the Shia. This is
Excuse
Shia
me.
propaganda.
I can't pronounce his name right though.
No. This is just general Shia propaganda about Omar because they hate Omar so much.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And this is homophobia and Sunniphobia and homophobia combined. So this Sunni is Shias. Yeah, so Shias try to insult Omar by suggesting that he be gay, that he had and it's also by the way, in Islamic homophobia, there's not that much of a homophobia towards people who be gay that they're on top. Okay, the main homophobia Islamically is bottom gays, not top gays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the accusation is that Omar is a bottom gay. That's the main accusation of Omar, and they make stories about him, but they don't. Let me give you. I don't know if you saw the streams that I did about Omar, or like Shia Akhuns, Shia mullahs talking about Omar.
I've heard a
But
little bit
there
about
is,
this.
yes, there is also this narrative that Omar had this very specific fetish. Do you want me to mention the fetish
Yes.
that Shia mullahs claim that Omar has? Guys, do you want to know? So, I mean, I did this. I'm not making this up. I showed you the khutbah, the presentation of an Iranian Shia imam telling you the narrative of Omar's fetish, and people are saying, "Sure, go ahead." Yes, Sid remembers this. The fetish for Omar is for him to be a sheep, for him to be a sheep, and then be eaten, and then be pooped, so that he gets to enjoy being poop. And that is his sexual fetish. That's the sexual fetish that Shias claim that Omar had. That Omar had claimed this. That he wants to be poop. That enjoy being poop. That's what Shias say about Omar. No, not. He doesn't want to be sheep. He wants to be he wants to be the poop. Wait, you guys don't remember that stream?
I haven't been this speechless in a while. What? So he?
Oh yeah, I should. Oh, that's how much Shias hate Omar.
Yeah, no, that's that is Sunni slander to the T. Oh my god!
Yes.
Wait.
That's how much Shias hate the Sunni leaders.
Oh. I don't freaking do. I'm not gonna lie. So he wants to be like a lamb, and then someone eats the lamb meat, and then
yes,
he becomes feces, and then that's like his thing.
Yeah, he wants to imagine himself being that. He gets sexual arousal imagining being that poop.
How? I have so many questions, but we're gonna start at the and I'm gonna unpack them. First question. How do you even enact that fantasy? But it has to be the poo of a man. Like, how is that even gay?
What? No, that the gay. No. That's a different accusation. I'm just saying that was not enough. I think this is a new. I think LGBT being gay has become so normalized these days that calling Omar gay is just doesn't cut it anymore. It's just like because when they used to say Omar was gay, people were like, "Oh, how dare you! Wow, that's disgusting."
Yeah.
Now people they say Omar is gay, they're like, "Meh." Like who's like
who isn't?
Yeah, who isn't gay? So they had to come up with something that hits hard. That's why. I should go find that video.
And that did hit me hard. To be fair, that did hit me hard. Wait. Okay. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you even enact that fantasy? I don't know.
I don't think it was.
Second question is
this is a new accusation, so I don't. I think it's their own Shia. It must be a Shia fantasy for them to have come up with it.
Self-report. Self-report.
Yes, this is a self-report. Yeah.
What is their source for this? Like, where are they?
Oh, you're asking? This from? Are you serious? You know what? You're asking Shias for source?
Citation needed. You know, yes, I need a Shia citation.
Actually, let me tell you. You know how much how much fun we make of Sunnis for their sources to be 200 years after Muhammad
Yeah,
died.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, like Sunnis make fun of Shias regarding their sources. Shias actually have a tradition of just making stuff up, and I've even seen khutbahs by their mullahs confirming that, yeah, this is what we do and this is what we're supposed to do and this is an Islamic thing to do as long as it serves our purpose. So within Shias, Shia mullahs just making up narratives about their imams, that and or making up. We have teachings within Shia ideology that if somebody is the enemy of Islam, it's okay for you to make up lies against them, even though you know their lies. So this is part of their teaching, that it's okay to make shit up. So Shias don't need sources. Any narrative that works in their favor, they're gonna just spread it, and this is part of their teaching. And Sunnis actually make fun of Shias for just
And for
not
good
having
reason.
sources for their
For good
narratives.
reason.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. This is beyond taqiyya, guys. This
This
cannot
is
even be considered. Yeah.
yeah. Oh my lord.
There's a name for, actually, there's a name, I forgot the name, but in Shia teachings, this is not taqiyya. This is beyond that. This is like warfare. This is like mental warfare. But
Psyops.
but yeah, spreading false rumors against your enemies is part of Shia teachings, and it's okay.
And we never see the Islamic Republic doing that.
Yeah.
That actually is a perfect segue into our next story. But we do have some super chats.
Yeah, let's do the super chat.
GJ is saying that there was a massive hack that exposed the personal data of 65,000, almost all Dutch police, DAs, I'm assuming that means like district attorney, etc. Supposedly done by an unknown state actor. Russia? Question mark. I don't know who would have an interest in that. He also said, oh, and 14 years, 4-time Dutch prime minister who only focused on balancing budget and loved EU wheeling and dealing, trashed the Netherlands military, is now the NATO boss. Okay. And GJ is saying, wasn't Takia originally a Shia initiative? Yeah.
No.
What?
No. Shia just took it to a whole different level. Okay, so Taqiyya originally, honestly, the Sunni version of Taqiyya originally, it's not even. I mean, I criticize Islam a lot, but the original version of Taqiyya was not even. I mean, okay, the Shias used it a lot more. So Sunni Muslims have this understanding that if your life is in danger, you are allowed to lie to save your life. Okay, Shias took that because during the Islamic Caliphate, the Sunnis, throughout Islamic history, Sunnis were in power and Shias were being oppressed more, okay, because of their views. So given that Shias' lives were mostly in danger for having the wrong views, they took the concept of taqiyya and they basically practiced it a lot. They basically accepted the four Khalifa, lying about their loyalty to the Imams, just so that they could survive, understanding that Islamically that this is allowed. But because taqiyya was being practiced a lot by Shias so that they could survive, they basically started adding a whole bunch more to it. So they added a second version of taqiyya. One version of taqiyya is that you are allowed to lie if being honest will cost you your life. But then they added another version, is that you are allowed to lie if it helps spread Islam, if it defends Islam. If being honest is a cost to Islam, then you are allowed to lie. And they added a second version to it. And some Sunnis, many Sunnis criticize Shia for adding the second layer to it. But I've noticed some Sunnis, not many Sunnis, have also took that in as well. So it's a spectrum. Yeah.
That is legitimately cult tactics.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Public little educational moment. If there is a group that is deceptive about its true beliefs and you don't get to learn its true beliefs until you reach a certain point within membership, that's deceptive recruiting, and that's a cult tactic.
Yes. Exactly.
Scientology is a perfect example of that, by the way. Same thing with Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons, even mainstream Mormons. But regardless, just to give an example, and I love D, he's just like, what kind of stream is this?
Hey, it's not my fault.
Guys, this is why you come to Atheist Republic, because where are you going to learn this kind of stuff elsewhere? Whether you want to or not. Oh, why are you gay? Let's go to the last story, which is
oh my god,
the best,
fantastic,
the best story.
The best story. Okay. Oh my god, I'm not even ready. Okay, clappable.
Yes.
All right. Next news.
Iranian cleric claims Jews use genies for secret missions. In a bizarre twist following Israel's successful operation against Hezbollah leaders, including Hassan Nasrallah, an Iranian cleric has made outlandish claims about Israel's supposed use of supernatural forces. Mostafa Karami, in a televised interview, accused Jews in Israel of employing jinn, or spirits from Islamic belief, for covert missions. I just had a mental image of like a secret agent jinn. Asserting that, quote, considering the Zionists' history of subjugating genies, they carry out many of their missions through these means, and demons are their secret army. This fantastical claim comes in the wake of Israel's Operation New Order, which resulted in the death of Nasrallah and other high-ranking Hezbollah members on September 27th. While various reports suggest different methods of tracking Nasrallah, from high-tech gadgets to traditional intelligence work, Karami's supernatural explanation stands out for its sheer absurdity. The cleric's statements, which also include accusations of Jews using cosmic science and magic throughout history, highlight the extreme narratives being pushed in some quarters to explain Israel's military successes and underscore the complex web of misinformation and superstition that can surround geopolitical events in the region. So, shall we watch the clip?
Yes, and you should translate, okay? Do you want to control it yourself so you could pause it whenever you need to? And you read the translations.
Wait, did we back this up? Did we start it over? Okay.
اینا دسترسی دارن به اجنه، در تفسیر اجنه، در علوم کیهانی. عرض کردم از زمان از داوود سلیمان.
So he's saying they, meaning the Jewish people, have had access to genies and cosmic science since the time of David and Solomon.
از این علوم پیش یهود هست و در طول تاریخ هم اینا از اجنه استفاده کردن. مستنداتی داره، روایاتی داره.
Sorry. Historically, the Jews have always used genies. Their documents and traditions prove that.
اینها عرض کنم خدمتتون بخشی از منهیات.
They have used genies for warfare and intelligence operations throughout history.
یعنی به عنوان مهره‌های اجرایی، عملیاتی و حتی اطلاعاتی از اجنه همیشه در طول تاریخ اینا استفاده کردن.
And I like that the news presenters are just sitting there like, Okay. So when I saw this, I was hysterical because we were talking literally last week about the beliefs regarding like ruqya and magic in Islam just last week. And Armin also brought forward his secret books, PDFs of esoteric knowledge about Jewish witchcraft on screen. Because I don't know how much people know about how Khamenei himself and other very high up people in the regime genuinely believe that the Jews are doing spiritual magical warfare against the Islamic Republic. So I mean, Armin, what is your reaction to this? Take it away, and also explain like the genuine belief in this for people that are like, what is going on here?
So first of all, this is Iranian state national TV. I just want to make sure you understand that. And the person who's talking is a very high religious official, right? I just also want you to understand, right? And I also want you to understand that this goes all the way to the top, right? So back in 2020, Khamenei said this, right? So let me actually, Iran's supreme leader made a claim in his latest speech that left many Iranians baffled, or rather terrorized, that the superstitious man ruling the country with unlimited powers may have lost his faculties. And let me just get to the quote itself, okay? So this is Khamenei himself. Again, this is Iran's supreme leader. We have jinn and human enemies that help each other. The again, Khamenei is saying this, the supreme leader in Iran, okay? The intelligence services of many countries work together against us, he said in his very long speech on the occasion of the Iranian New Year, Nowruz. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of that, right? I just want you to know that Khamenei himself thinks that the enemy uses jinns, and he himself also wants to use jinns. They have an army of sorcerers apparently that they think, and the fact that Israel, think about how good Israel operation has been, because if you watch the longer speech that they were the TV, the clip that you got from the Iranian TV, the explanation was that obviously operation this good can only be explained with magic. That is the understanding. Like, think how superior Israeli technology and intelligence operation is, that the official position by Iranian state TV is that there's no way to explain this other than they have magic on their side.
Dude, Israelis, if I were you, I would be feeling so secure that the only ways that my enemies can cope and sleep at night is that they have to believe that we have magic on our side. That's the level of superiority going on here. Jesus. Whew.
It's like, how could you explain the pagers? How could you explain they found Nasrallah like that? How could you explain this and this? They have jinns. They had jinns since. I mean, because even in the Quran and in the Hadith, it mentions the relationship that Prophet Suleiman had with not just animals but also ajannah, meaning like jinns, right? So, he thinks that given what Suleiman's, that the tradition, all the science, all the jinn science, from Suleiman and Dawood and David and Suleiman has been left behind with the Jews from the olden days, and that's why Israel has these capabilities, because the science has been left behind by their Jewish prophets.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And using jinn magic was okay back then until Muhammad came. So in the Quran, it mentions that before Muhammad, the jinns had a special place in the heavens, right? And they had access to the secrets of the universe. But then after a certain time, they were pushed out of the heavens, not actually the heavens, the layer of sky that is closest to heavens. And now the jinns don't have access to heavenly knowledge anymore, so they're using magic that they're not allowed, and that's why working with jinn with magic that they're not allowed could be considered sihr or sorcery, and could be considered Islamically illegal, right? And I don't know how some people close to Khamenei justify using jinns. I mean, that's not magic. I think they're just deploying their powers. I don't know. It's complicated, right? But I mean, in the Quran, you even read that shooting stars are basically the heavens shooting at jinns so that every time the jinns want to go back to the position that they had before, which was close to the layers that the heavens are in, where angels mention the secrets of the universe, every time they try to go back there, the heavens throw stars at them, and that explains the shooting stars that you see in the sky, pushing the jinns away from the highest heaven, the highest sky.
You know what I was
Yeah.
thinking? I was thinking about how, like, you know, I'm not Jewish, but being the subject of anti-Semitism is obviously very scary and insidious. But the idea of living in someone else's head rent free to the extent that they think that you have the powers of like sorcery and gods and like all this stuff, I'm like, that's fascinating. Like, I don't once again, some anti-Semitic conspiracy theories are like, if this is true, we should give up and just pledge our fealty to the Jews because they're too powerful.
Like, actually, you're making fun of this, but some Iranians have played this, and the commentary on this specific video by Iranians is that how could you blame us for being Zionists? You have done such a thing that even jinns are becoming Zionists. So of course we're gonna take their side. Like, look what you have done. Even jinns are taking Israel's side. So.
That's hysterical. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They're like, it's not our fault, guys. Even you believe that the jinns are with them. You know, if it's simple math. If you can't beat them, join them. Oh my gosh.
Zion jinns. Yes, Zion jinns.
Can you bring forward that book of the magic texts again? That was so cool.
Yeah. Before I do that, I will. Yeah, go on. You go on.
I was just saying that in my head, when you're describing this stuff, I also had a mental image of the sorcery department of Mossad. I'm like, I want to see what the sorcery unit of Mossad looks like. That would be such a good cartoon. That'd be such a funny cartoon. The sorcery operations, like I want them to have like a special room, and they're wearing robes. Yeah. That'd be
okay. I actually have the book already.
It'd be such a good comedy. Oh my gosh.
But okay, I have another video that I want to show you about how because of Israel's operations against Iranian key figures, like Islamic Republic's key figures, they are losing their freaking minds. I have another video to show you that. But before I do that, because Susanna wants some sorcery, I will deliver sorcery. Hold on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is, again, I showed you guys this before. Again, you're not, again, I should be killed basically for even showing you this, because these are sorcery books that were not supposed to be seen by most people, but some people went and scanned it, and it's now on the internet. But you can see that I'm specifically showing you this one because according to the like Islamic sorcerers, the best sorcery comes from the Jews. Okay, so Muslim sorcerers believe that the best grade A, most effective curses or spells are Jewish in origin. And if you actually
they do everything else the best, why not sorcery too?
Yeah, exactly. Dark as like naturally. Yes. And you can see that here, guys, for people who could read Arabic text, it says Al-Yahud, basically showing that this is sorcery from Jewish sorcery. And you can see all these codes, all of these weird numbers, all of this word text. Oh, look at this. It says if the name of the patient starts with the sound the شروع می شود روز do this one do this spell on a Tuesday روز سه‌شنبه بیماری ناشناخته پیدا کرده. And then use this specific smoke and then write this somewhere. But if the name of the patient starts with the sound t, oh wow, so there's so if this is trying to heal this is a healing spell, but there are different methods based on what letter the name of the patient starts with. So these are healing chants, and then there's something for everything. There's cursing spells, there's healing spells, there is love spells, there's wealth generation spells, there's stuff that you need to write on a specific bone. There are spells that you could only make it possible if you cut the vagina of a hyena. Right. So this is a very famous thing.
Very famous. Shut the front door. What are you saying to me?
A lot of Iranian, superstitious Iranian people go and find female hyenas in the wild to hunt them down and cut their vagina, and they carry it in their pocket for protection.
They're doing FDM on hyenas?
Yes, they cut the outer layer and they carry it. Yes, it's a very there's some specifically with snakes, but the most powerful one is with hyena vagina, which is very sad to the hyenas, honestly. These are all spells.
I've been knocked off my feet several times during this stream. My word.
Yeah. No, this is actually a very serious one. This is a lot of people pay a lot of money for hyena vagina. Yeah.
Ooh, look at that one. Looks like a little Scorpio, a little scorpion.
Yeah, that's a scorpion right there. Yeah, this one is not Jewish. This one is
I love the drawings.
Going and going. I have so many of this, by the way. You guys are not supposed to see any of this. I have this is a deer.
A lot of these spells would make really cool tattoos. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be a really sick tattoo.
It keeps going on and on. Oh, look, this must be a love spell. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Anyways, I promised you a video.
Can you send that to me? I want to poke through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, can I just want to jump to one super chat real quick because it's so funny. Jean is saying, is this the forbidden sex of the Jews? Which is a reference to last week's stream with the Malaysian Islamic cult. What was it? Sex haram Yahudi. God,
wait, I have to defend myself. Zaid is saying, Armin, there is no such thing as a Muslim sorcerer. If you attempt sorcery, you immediately committed shirk. It's disappointing that our mufti doesn't know this. Actually, no, it's not. It's not shirk. I mean, it is a sin. Sorcery is a sin. It's not necessarily a shirk, because I have specifically remember people doing tawbah for doing sorcery. I'm promising not to do that. But shirk is unforgivable. Seher or sorcery, depending on if you deny that you have committed a sin, then you could be takfir. But technically, sorcery is considered a sin, but not depending on what you have said and what position you have, it could possibly be considered not shirk. For example, many Iranians have been forgiven by certain ahund for asking for forgiveness for going out and paying for I don't know, a spell against somebody and then realizing that no, I shouldn't have done that and asking for forgiveness. So technically, it cannot be shirk if we could ask for forgiveness. So no, I'm yeah, my position is correct. Anyways, I have to show you this video. Okay, so this is a mullah. I should translate for you guys. Okay, in one of the cities in Iran in a Friday prayer, and he's coming out and saying that even if you take our weapons away, we will fight you with this. So let me see what he says. So he says that we will turn your iron dome into abkesh. What is that thing that you wash rice in and water goes under it?
Like a sieve.
Wash, yes, we will turn your iron dome into a sieve, meaning with like it will have many holes in it.
Yeah.
Yes, it will have many holes in it. He says, if we run out of missiles, we will hold weapons in our hands and we will fight you with weapons in our hands. Look. He has brought a sword, a knife, and an axe to the Friday prayer, and he says, if we run out of weapons, we will come at you with axes and knives. He's like, we will fight you Zionists with axes in our hands. Oh, a hatchet. Yeah, sorry, a hatchet. It's not a sword. It's a hatchet and an axe. Oh, look, what do you say here? Death to America. She said, like, you came and you turned our Hassan Nasrallah into a martyr. Like, until our last breath, until our last drop of blood. Like, even if we run out of hatchets and axes, we will fight with you with our bare hands. So he's like, we will come at you with. So if we run out of missiles, we'll use our weapons. If we run out of missiles, we will use hatchets and axes. If we run out of these, we will just start using a fist. There's part of it. He says, "He's like, come at me, He's like, come at me, bro."
I'd like to see you try, old man, dude.
Yeah, my God, I just had to share that.
Wait, can you scroll down in the article? D found such a funny social media post.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Don't, not like that. Don't do it like that. Tell me before you do share, because I have to make sure I do it in the proper way.
Okay.
Okay.
Scroll down to the bottom. What was so funny was someone posted this, and then the response.
This one?
No, a little bit further. Yeah. Someone responded with the Jewish space lasers.
This is great.
Don't touch that button.
Wait, hold on. This is actually much better with the sound.
It's the only explanation.
Our cosmic space force is the best in the world. What is this? Wait, don't touch that button. Oh, what is that? Wait.
The menorah and the Star of David.
The Star of David.
But why do people think that Jews control the weather too? How did that get its start?
Well, because apparently they controlled everything.
Dude.
Well, I didn't know the voice would be that bad. It's Jewish laser, guys. It's very powerful. That's why it sounds like that. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
All right.
It's too much.
This is great.
Sorry,
by the way, guys, if
remembering memes Rivka sends me, our friend of the show, Rivka, sends me some hilarious Jewish memes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you should see the memes I post on the Persian Telegram. Some of them are not even translatable. Should I try to explain some of these to you guys? I don't know. Yeah, I will at some point maybe. Should I do another meme stream trying to explain the Persian? If I try to explain them, they're not going to be as funny. Let me just do yeah, I posted a lot of memes. Let me just show one of it to you guys. A lot of Iranians are making memes every hour regarding like the current conflict between the Islamic Republic and here. Let me show you this one.
Yeah, they don't.
This one is
rest.
the only. Yeah. This one is the best one so far.
That is so hurtful. That is so hurtful.
Oh my god, this is good. So we have Nasrallah there. We have some IRGs recent. We have Ismail Haniya. We have Fad Shukr. We have Zahedi.
Emotional
I don't know.
damage.
Ani is there. That might be too soon. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but we'll see. But this
Emotional damage. Who was that animator that makes the memes of like who made the meme when Raisi died? Of him arriving in hell and Khomeini is there welcoming him.
Oh yeah, I forgot his name.
God,
He said he makes Oh yeah, almost every day now. Maybe I
Oh
should.
my god, can you please like you have to translate those because those are so
it's just
stupid funny.
I don't know, it's so funny, but when I spend time translating it, it just loses a lot of its humor, you know.
It's
when
better than nothing, okay? I have no one else to
Okay.
translate this for me. Please, I'm begging you.
I can only show you the ones that no translation is needed. But yeah, this one is good.
Why are you withholding? It's so rude. It's so rude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. We should do the super chats.
Well, you know, speaking of, I would also like to wish, you know, Lashana Tova to all the Jewish genies out there, all the Jewish jinns, all Jewish aligned spirits and agents of spiritual warfare. Happy New Year to you as well. You know, they're celebrating.
I also want to.
I want them to be on my side.
Yeah, Jewish gens as well.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, do you know why? Okay, here's a question. Let's see if you can answer this. Why the red circle in this picture?
Because I don't think the Israelis actually killed Raisi at all. I think it was an inside job. So I don't think he belongs there.
No, so people are the person who read. Yes, exactly. The circled Raisi suggesting that Raisi was taken out by Mossad as well. So that's it. That's kind of the suggestion here. Yeah, but we don't know.
I reject that as heresy.
The
Israelis would never
do
something
let's do
that floppy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That was. I mean, if it was Israelis, it was pretty clean.
I'm just making a joke.
Yeah.
Mama Reza is saying, Susanna, learn Farsi for memes. I'm legitimately going to learn Farsi to watch Armin's shows in Persian because he does a level of analysis on the Persian channel that I only get to hear about secondhand. And I'm bitter about it. I'm not even joking. Like, I wish I understood Farsi just for the Persian streams. Which, if you guys speak Persian, by the way, and you're not subscribed to Jumhuriye bi Khodayan, our Persian channel, I don't know what you're doing. That is legitimately really good content.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link to it in the live chat for people who speak Persian. Whether you're from Iran or from Afghanistan or from Tajikistan or from anywhere else, if you speak Persian, check out our Persian channel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, soon AI will be able to translate all of that, so that's good.
Let's hope so. Okay, we got a bunch of super chats. Hajj, excuse me. My dyslexia jumped out. Saying, well done, Susanna. Perfect translation. I hope you're joking because I was reading the subtitles.
Yeah, the translation is there.
Thank you.
Thank-
Darko celebrating his membership for 30 months, saying you guys are killing it. Salute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Darko. He's one of the OGs.
Mhm.
And I like this comment. Per Holdstrand is saying all genies are Zionists, obviously. So okay, GJ had a super chat saying, doesn't reliance of the traveler begin with Islam is a legal system first and a religion second? I don't know.
Doesn't reliance of traveler be? I don't rely on the reliance of the traveler. I go directly to the source. Okay, the reliance in the traveler is just picking and choosing from the hadith. I just go directly to Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. So I don't know how it begins. This is for that book is for new Muslim noobs. Okay, that's what that book is for.
Okay. Kool-Aid Man Kill gave a super chat saying somehow genies can give a W to Israel, but Allah is taking L's all day. Well, apparently, somehow. And that somehow is Jewish sorcery, obviously.
Obviously.
Okay, by the way, YouTube, we're making jokes this entire segment. That's the point, okay?
Yes. Stop coming at us.
Gasian, speaking about the Shiite slander against Umar, craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, saying, so Umar learns the 72 transformations to become small, then asks to be reborn as a poop kami. Exactly. And apparently that's sexually exciting. But we all have our things. Gasian is saying if the West if the West Asian jinns ever want to come to the East Asian heavens, our asylum applications are open.
That's good. That's funny.
That was.
Oh, you're muted. Your audio got cut off. I think your mic got disconnected. No idea. Nope. 1 second. She has to go in and out. Wait, I just want to, while she does that, I want to highlight Dolly's comment. So Susie's going to come right back. Dolly's saying, if someone speaks Arabic, please comment in AR Arabic. I have lots of Islamists coming after me in there. Okay, guys. So here's the channel. We also have an Atheist Republic Arabic channel that Dolly manages. So if you speak Arabic, that's the Atheist Republic Arabic YouTube channel. So go check it out and go support her because she has a lot of Islamists commenting and she feels kind of lonely there. So go there and support her. Comment on the
Dolly's
on
the best. Channel. I don't know what we would do without her. And wait, did you this super chat?
No, go ahead.
Jason is just commenting, this is the religion of peace, damn it. Where did that whole line come from? That's like such a modern slogan.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Islam never... I mean, it's weird because Islam actually doesn't claim that. Like, it's not people like, oh, Islam says it's the religion of peace and it's not the religion of peace. But actually, to be fair to Islam, it never claims to be the religion of peace. Like, what are you like? If you're Islam itself, I'm like, no, what the hell? I don't know who came up with it. I think Westerners came up with it.
No, this has to be like a modern thing, and I think it possibly comes from like a misunderstanding about the etymology of the word Islam. I think people think it comes from salam.
Yeah, but I mean, it does share a root, but it doesn't mean that. It means like submission, right? However, like some people say, like people are saying George Bush claimed this. Yeah, I think people start making that claim after 9/11. You're right. People in the live chat are saying, and Nastasia. Yeah, because before 9/11, Islam wasn't claiming to be the religion of peace. I think this was a Western thing that people people think, isn't it taqiyya? No, it's not taqiyya, because Islam doesn't even claim that. It was Westerners that suggested that maybe after 9/11, but Islam itself doesn't claim to be the religion of peace. There's nowhere in Islam that it claims to be the religion of peace. It brags about being a religion of war. Yeah. For some everything. Sorry, I just want to add it.
Oh, no, it's fine. BGC Vuitton gave a super chat saying, "Scream martyrdom, yet the first to flee the bunker."
Yeah, well, I mean, he's who? Nasrallah? I mean, flee to the bunker, not flee the bunker. Yeah, that makes more sense. Flee to the bunker. Yes, yes. Yeah, this is very interesting. If you look at where Nasrallah was hiding, he was in a bunker under buildings with so many freaking civilians. That's where he was hiding, under the most densely populated part of Beirut. If you go look at Mossad's building, it's actually it's like its own building, separate from civilian population. Like if you hit the Mossad building, there is no civilian apartments around it, right? But Hezbollah's building is right next to civilians and under civilian buildings. Like this is like, oh, martyrdom. Yeah, martyrdom for the rest. But when my life is in danger, and again, Hezbollah, just like Hamas, didn't spend any money trying to protect ordinary Lebanese people from bombardment at all, but they spent so much money trying to protect themselves from bombardment. This is so insane. The difference is night and day. Israel spends so much money trying to protect civilians in Israel, and that's why they don't die as much, right? Hezbollah they cry about martyrdom, but they spend so much money protecting themselves, make bunkers for themselves. They make bunkers for the terrorists, but no bunkers. They spend no money making bunkers for civilians. It's so bizarre. It's like, it's so obvious who's in the right here. Like the picking a side here is like night and day. Like there are few. This is why this is so bizarre. Like trying to figure out who's on the right here and who's on the wrong. Usually things in life are gray. They're on a spectrum. But this one is so freaking obviously night and day. I don't even know why people are still getting this wrong. I don't know. It's so obvious.
Meanwhile, Norman Finkelstein was praising Nasrallah the other day. He was like,
yeah,
I feel his loss in the world. I'm like, oh my God.
That was disgusting. Disgusting, man.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So we got another comment from Mohsen Life. Can you translate, please, Armin?
He says, Susanna Eshri, Armin Eshri. Means like, Susanna, you are loved. Armin, you are loved. By the way, Google Translate will translate this wrong. Google Translate will translate this to Susanna, you are love, and Armin, you are love. But I think the actual translation is that you are beloved, not you are literally love. Yeah.
And Unicorn was celebrating their membership for 11 months. Good to see you, Unicorn. Saying gin and juice.
Thank you. And also we got thank you so much for the support, guys. And also we got another Persian comment saying Demetun Gam like has been and Dobishter saying that the numbers of likes that we've gotten is actually even more than the number of people viewing. That means a lot of you liked. Guys, this is like a lot of commitment to liking. So thank you, guys. Please make sure that you like. Wow, we got 400 likes on this stream. Guys, please make sure that you like the stream, because that would actually make
sorry to interrupt. Continue.
No. Go ahead.
But we have a boatload of people watching on Twitter right now. And if you're on Twitter, you really need to get over on YouTube, because it's so much better on YouTube. So come over, subscribe, have a good time, like the stream, leave a comment.
Yes, please, please. 500 people are watching on Twitter. Come over on YouTube. It's a lot more fun here. You get to be part of the live chat. Subscribe here, guys. If you're subscribing is not enough. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you like the stream. Liking your likes has made the channel grow faster. So please continue liking the stream. If you want to even support us more after the show is over, please leave a comment. All of this engagement helps the channel grow. So please go ahead and do that. Also, we still monetized? Yes, we are still monetized. This is great. We're good.
Wow.
We're good. Wow.
You can also leave a
All
super
right.
chat, donate to Atheist Republic. Link is in the description.
Yes.
We work hard
Oh
to
my
keep the
God.
ship
Hey.
afloat.
Wait, can I show you one more meme before we go? One more meme. I know
course.
this is like it's going to get lost through translation, but it's okay. I mean, this is easier. This is easier. Hold on. One more meme before we go. Hold on. Okay. So again, this is not going to be as effective, right? But so
What
this
the heck?
is first they took Qasem
You're all doing
Soleimani,
the
they
little
killed
Asian
him.
squat.
Yeah, he says, "What happened to my great revenge?" And then they called Fakhrizadeh, the nuclear scientist, and they're like, "What happened to our great revenge?" And then they added this guy, and then Israel keeps killing more and more, and they're like, "What happens to our great revenge?" And he keeps increasing every year. Where's our great revenge? I don't know, I just had to show you. Okay. Yes. All right.
Are people wait, no, I have a quick question following off of that. Are people satisfied with Iran's attack on Israel last week as their great revenge, or they're not satisfied? I know that it was like the ideological prawn that they needed, the ideological corn that they needed to
So
mentally cope. But is it going to count? Is that enough?
So when the Islamic Republic responds, at first there's a huge wave of finally our great revenge is here, and there's a lot of barking and a lot of sound, a lot of finally, oh my God, we brought hell upon Israel. We destroyed them. We killed so many of them. All their military bases are destroyed. They're all crying. They're all running away, and all of these claims. And then we just wait there because we that's where on the Persian side we go on the collection phase, because all of these false claims, we collect them about what they think actually happened. And then when the evidence comes out that none of that happened, then our hands are full to make a show to make fun of them. Then after the first few days, they get very happy. But as time goes by, they realize that their so-called great revenge was not as great, and it gives us a lot of content for us to make fun of them. And then like once they're like, we wait, and then we say, "You're done. Now it's our turn." And then we start making fun of them and humiliate them, and they come crying in our live chat. They come swearing at us, and then we just throw all the claims that they made about about what happened back at them, and it's just so much fun. I wish you were. My last stream was basically that, and Mullah was making like, "Oh my God, look at this! It's the end of days. It's hell on earth," and they were showing AI made images that somebody in China made 2 years ago of Moscow being on fire, and they were claiming that this is in Israel. And I was showing that, and then I showed them that this is from a clip from 2 years ago, and I was making fun of them, making fun of them. They had a video from 2021 where Netanyahu was running in the Knesset and Israeli parliament between different rooms to go to do something, and they were like, "Oh my God, look, Netanyahu is running to his bunker. He's so afraid." And then because of the attacks, and then I basically took that video and I showed that this is actually a video from 2021. There's so many videos like this, and it was so much fun making fun of them and humiliating them. Guys, if you speak Persian, go watch that video. It's so amazing.
That reminds I follow a lot of anti-Israeli accounts because I want to see what they say, right? But who's that one guy? I think his name is like Suleiman Ahmed or something. He's such a fucking loser. He was on the day of the attack, he was just doing nothing except posting videos of like Israelis in their bunkers. Like, oh my God, look, the Israelis are in their bunkers, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you guys are such losers. The best you can do is just jerk off to videos of Jews hiding in a bunker. That's the best you can do. They're like, oh my God, they're hiding in a bomb shelter. And I'm like, this actually goes to show that they give a fuck about their civilians. You know that, right? Like,
right, this is it.
You're jerking off. This is a W. It's a W for them. They're safe. They're alive. What are you talking about?
Wait, so I have so many of these videos that I was showing. Hold on. For example, this one. Hold on, look at this here. I was showing this on my Persian show.
عزت از خودشون ایجاد میکنن برای همین حضرت. حالا ببینیم چی جوریه.
Like, let's look at it. He's saying, let's look at what happened.
جيش الإسرائيلي عن رصد إطلاق صواريخ باليستية من داخل إيران والآن تدوي صافرات الإنذار في منطقة ديمونة أسوار.
این زاویه دیده شهرک‌نشین هایی هستش که حالا توتوباناشون عمود بر موشک.
He's saying this is like in Israel. He's saying, and then he continues and says that this is in Israel. This is hell on earth. They are, look at what's happening to them. Look at this. He thinks this happened in Israel. He thinks this happened.
منطقة أريل في الضفة الغربية سمعنا أصوات انفجارات في هذه المنطقة وتصلنا إشارات من شهود عيان.
So I went and found the TikTok video that was it was a TikTok video from August. Somebody used AI to create end of times. It's a TikTok account that does this a lot. He makes videos of like tsunamis, videos of end up like disastrous things happening. So they took that video and they claimed that this happened in Israel. So I basically humiliated them with this. So here, let me actually show you BB running. There's another video that they were doing that, hold on, let me show you. Where is it? If this is the BB running video. Hold on, if I could find it. Oh, here. So here, look at this. He's like, oh my God, look, he said, like, look, Israelis are pissing their pants. I don't know where he got this image.
در تل آویو گرفته شده. به خدا این عکس عین واقعیت ها مردم. شوخی نیست. اینا فتوشاپ نیست. اینا مال قبل.
He's like, this is not. He like, I promise you, these are not Photoshop. These are not videos from
مال
before.
بعد نخواهد بود. اینا مال همین اتفاقیه که ما رقم زدیم در وعده صادق. نگاه کن. جیش کرده از بالا تا پایین خودش.
Like, look what we have done. Israelis are pissing their pants. But look, this video.
That's
so he said,
really
like,
okay, no. Like, let's take a step back. Let's say that we assume that is true. Like, we take him at their word. Like, that's the best you can do. Like, oh my God, we got a lady to piss herself. It's so childish.
But look at this one. Look at this one.
Political goals, like.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, he shaved as well. He had a long beard. Apparently, mullahs only shave when something really celebratory has happened, something really good. And apparently, the response that the Islamic Republic did to Israel, it was good enough for him to shave. But look at this.
That's a damn shame because he looked way better with the beard.
Wait, yeah, watch this.
زعفرستانی.
So this is like a song saying Haydar, something like it's a Shia thing, like Haydar is like the lion Ali, like basically they're happy that Netanyahu is running. Right? They think he's running, like yeah, and he says like he thinks he's running to his bunker.
زشت آقا.
He's like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing for Netanyahu. He's running.
بنی بهش میگم بی بی. بچه‌ها تو کامنت ها میگن بعدن شده پی پی.
Like people call him BB, but maybe they should call him PP because he's PPing his pants.
زشته واسهتون اینجوری فرار میکنید سمت پناهگاه ها جون عزیزه.
He's like, oh, this is so embarrassing. You're running to your bunker like this. But again, on the Persian show, I went and showed that this video had nothing to do with this recent attack. This is from 2021. This was he was running between rooms in the Knesset for something from some. They were voting on something, and he was running for that. Some. So there's a lot of this. I have a lot more examples like this. I don't know if you want to see some. So that's what we do on the Persian. I expose these idiots. I expose these idiots, and I'll show you that their revenge that they're so proud of. Not a single Israeli died, guys. Not a single Israeli died. The only thing you managed to do is injure 2 people and kill a Palestinian. You killed a Palestinian in the West Bank with those missiles. You didn't kill a single Israeli. So I said, look, they took out all the top commanders of Hezbollah, almost all of the top commanders of Hamas, some of the most key officials in IRGC. So not only you didn't manage to take out any of their ministers, any of the head of their military, you didn't even, in your attack, you didn't even manage to take out ordinary soldiers. Forget ordinary soldiers. You didn't even manage to take out one civilian, one Israeli civilian didn't die in this hard revenge of yours. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? And they said, like, well, we destroyed their military base. We have satellite images of before and after. The most damage was one hole to here. We have it here. We have the image of what happened. So here, I have the image. This is the greatest damage that you managed to inflict. You see this hole here to the right? You see this hole here? This. Okay? This is the military base that they attacked. The military base was operational the day after. To be honest, the first attack that they do, the Amaliyat Vade Sadiq 1, they managed to do a hole, which was a medium-sized hole on the corner. So they have managed to advance to go from a medium-sized hole to a big hole. And this time it was on the roof of the base. I mean, it wasn't big enough to make the military base not operational, but congratulations, you got a hole. You managed to get a hole. They took out all of the main commanders of your main proxies, and you have a hole to show for. I mean, I have to give you credit. You did manage to get a missile, not only to go through the Iron Dome, but also hit finally a military target in a way that we could see from satellite images. But this is don't make it bigger. Don't make it bigger than it is. Like just accept
Armin,
what
you know, you're being too hard, because they say that the only competition you really have is who you were the day before. Okay? And they're getting there. They're improving.
Yes, you're right. That's actually a good point.
Oh my God. And this is what drives me. When will people realize that the axis of a resistance is infinitely better at killing other Muslims and Arabs than they ever are at harming Israelis to any comparative degree?
Yes. Oh, by the way, so, as soon as they did the attack, the prices rose. Prices for everything rose in Iran. So there was one Iranian that posted a video of his shopping. He went to the grocery stores and shopped, and he showed the higher prices. And he sent a message to Khamenei in his video, is like, "Great job, Khamenei. Your missile landed in my on my dinner table. That's where your missile landed."
No, but that's really real though. Like that speaks to something so much deeper about like why Iranians like hate this regime so much.
Yeah.
Ay.
Exactly. Anyways. Okay, we have to go. But this was we got more super chats while we're talking.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we already
we did that one.
Jin and June.
I think you read this one.
Is new.
Mithras Revisited gifted 5 Atheist Republic memberships. Well, thank you, Mithras. That's very generous.
Thank you for the support. Oh, we got shekels.
The way you lit up. Oh my God. Radiant sent 15 shekels saying, "Shalom, everyone. Question to the casters. Have you been to Israel? If so, tell us for your experience." Armin has, but I have not.
I have, and we made documentaries about my visit to Israel, and I'm going to do a stream that was not mentioned in the documentaries. I'm going to do a stream about certain parts that was not mentioned in the documentary. So bear with me. I will do that soon. I'm going to have to do that before I have to do that very soon. It's just like this whole conflict is taking all of my time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm behind on everything.
Some of Armin's content about his visit to Israel can be found on a sister channel of Atheist Republic called Ideas Unboxed. So if you guys are curious, you can go see some stuff there.
Yeah. All right, and also on my personal channel in Armin Navabi's YouTube channel, some of it is on other channels, like for example on Genetically Modified Skeptics channel, right? So there's a playlist of a lot of my activism on my personal channel, and I link to it there, so you could find it there as well. Cool. All right, guys, we're gonna go. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you promote our channel to humans, your pets, and also jinns. Jinns be Zionists, okay? So make sure genies know that Atheist Republic YouTube channel exists.
Zionists.
And
if anyone has any artistic talent, can you please make like a little kawaii cartoon of like a Zionist jinn?
Yes.
And then draw me and Armin as Zionist jinns.
Oh, yes.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, that would be good.
Send it to my Instagram. Oh my God.
Yes. All right, guys. We're going to head out. Bye. Till next stream.
Bye.
Stay liberal. Bye.